you are interested. Alright. Okay. So terkejut sikit. Suddenly recording in progress. So welcome Bazila, Excel. Welcome with Triliana. And if you are ready to on with the session today, I will only have 1 hour. I'm not sure if it's enough. Because this is what I'm passionate about. If you are ready, you can use the chat box and say yes, so that I know you are there and really ready to get as much of from me for today's sessions. How many are ready? Yes. Awesome. All right. So what we are going to talk about is actually called something nobody to start models or framework, where I use if you are a salesperson, if you are starting your career as entrepreneur, or even if you are going to win the love of your life. This is where I live by it, I use it, and I apply it in everything that I do per se, where it's a study of people that have success from where they start until where they have been through. I've been studied for these things since a few years back, and it become a model that I call nobody to stars. So before we start, if you have any question, you can use the chat box. Let's make this fun and actually make it worthy, although it's 1 hours. And before we start, let me introduce about something about me. I am Khairul Mazlan. My passion is mostly is in sales and leadership. And I have been a marine engineer for around 4 years before I go into corporate world, and then I jump into the learning and development industry. So the reason behind it and why I am here is because of my patience. And this one session, I hope I can give you at least three things. One is how you can use the nobody to start framework and model. The second thing is I want to share what have all top salespeople strategies that they have done and what you are going to have and look forward in my next sessions. So let's start with the 10 strategies that every top salespeople are doing, and what differentiate them from a lot of other people is actually is the mindset itself. A lot of people are thinking if you are doing sales, is the key is in closing, which is wrong. If you ask anybody that are really good in doing sales, the key is actually to finding the big why, and the around 80%, and the 20% others are actually in finding the how. And the top strategies that they normally do, the first and foremost is actually to control the states that they are. Most people, when they go and wake up in the morning, they don't actually wake up with the correct emotional states, and they need to do a lot of work in their office or before they go out and see clients. So if you can control your emotional states, what do you want to transfer to your clients, to your customers, then it will help a lot in getting the closing that you need. That's why it doesn't need to have closing at the end. What you need to do is before it itself, before you really interact with clients. The second strategy will be is actually how you want to manage the customer states, how you want to manage the customer emotions, how you want to control regarding on how they speak, how their tone are, their body language, and what are the emotion that you want to lead them. Most people, when they do in being in front of a customer, what they does is actually they let the customer lead them in term of states. Great salespeople are actually controlling their customer states, where they know where they want to bring the customer. Nobody wanted to buy with you with a sad state. Nobody wanted to buy with you with a mad emotion states. So you need to know how they speak and then lead to them and then proceed from there. The third one is actually to prepare themselves or prepare yourself physically and emotionally, which means one is what states you are. Second is actually, are you emotionally stable? Do you bring all the nasty thing into your workplace? Do you come with a lot of baggage? And do you actually make sure your body are physically fit? Do you notice that a lot of people are talking about getting better results in fitness, getting more nutritionists, losing more weight? At the same time, they are not living the way they talk. They are not doing what they are preaching. So that's why you need to be in that condition so that you actually can make the breakthrough. The fifth one is actually to build trust, right? And this is crucial because people will only buy from people that they trust. You can go all around the world, you can go to Shopee, you can see everybody, they only buy from the people that they trust or the brand that they trust. Is either they trust the people that sell it, they trust the company that sell it, or they trust the product that been sold. You have these three things, you build this trust. I can assure you 8 out of 10 will buy from you. The two, maybe they don't like you at all. So it's depending how you build trust. Um, and by having trust, you can actually have longevity in whatever things that you sell. All right. Oh, all right. Thank you. And the sixth one is actually to create and sustain that interest, because most people, when they start on selling, what they do start on with giving the products, talking about the features, talking about the benefits, without actually looking into what your client and customer needs. What do they really interest in? Because without knowing that, you are not giving a solutions, but more giving on the things that you have. All right, welcome back, Bazila. I'm not sure why you welcome back, Bazila. And Dell I701, welcome. I did not notice you are there. All right, let's go to number 7. The quality prospect that they will find, they did not use selling by giving it to everyone. Extraordinary top sales people, they filter their customers. They don't go to everyone. They don't, not all the products are perfectly designed for everyone in the market. And that's why top salespeople, they know who to prospect, where do they want to find their prospect, and actually close their sales there. Number 8 is give a prospect a way to justify a buying reasons. Because if you ask any salespeople, any sales trainer, uh, people buy because of emotions. And if you can help them in justifying why they buy it from you, I can assure you they will buy with a smile. If not, they will buy because they don't want to see you next round. And if you can give that justifications, actually, you will notice that the clients will keep on coming back to you. They need that justification because of the decision that they have taken. Number 9 is actually to close the sales and obtain commitments, where I will talk a lot about it during Drive Reloaded. But it's how you want to make sure there are longevity in the process of selling and buying, and actually making sure that they are coming back to you and asking more from you and demand more from you. A lot of people did not aware on that, the importance of getting repeated customers and getting the stress of making a better product for their customers. Last but not least is to button up the sales and also create a sales leverage, where you need to know where you want to bring your customers journey into, not only just selling one thing and then say bye-bye to them, actually to know where you want to bring them up to, keeping them in the loop of anything that you're coming up with. And you notice great companies, great salespeople, they did not really affected by the pandemic because they know where they want to bring the client and the customer into too. So that is a top 10 strategy. I will talk more on Drive Reloaded on how you want to actually tackle this issue on Drive Reloaded on the 7th of July. But today we are talking about nobody to start framework. Before we go to the real framework, Is there any question from anyone? You can just use the chat box. I will keep on checking on the chat box so that I will answer any question about it. All right. So no question. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So nobody to start framework started from a person called Blair Singer. And I keep on pursuing it until I understand how it does and what does and does I live by it. My rules of thumb is actually, as long as I live by it, uh, I can share it with everybody because the emotion is there and it's easy for me to relate to each and every one of you. So let's start when you wanted to go and start your life and your career in entrepreneurship, or you going into a sales team. So a lot of people, when they go, they come in with ego. And when they go into a market, I notice that a lot of people comes with a decision that whatever they have is a solution to many people. I can assure that that is not the right actually steps that you want to go when you started your career in entrepreneurship, or be going into a new relationship or going into a new sales team. Because anywhere we go, nobody will actually see you because you are an invisible people. You are a nobody. When you start your career as a nobody, you will notice that you need to make sure everybody know you first. So what are the emotions and what are the states that you have when you start your entrepreneurship journey? Anyone can tell me the emotion that you have when you start something new? How do you feel it? Anyone? All right. So you will notice that whenever you start anything, the things that will come to you, the one that in the round things there is actually a graph where you will have nothing inside. What you always have is zero. Nobody will know you, nobody will know what you're talking about, and nobody will know how important your product is. So the first thing that you have is you need to understand what are the emotion that you have at that time. Most people will come into the industry with the emotion of anxiety. They will come there and notice that there's a lot of anxiety inside their life, and then you need to know what are the market response to you first, right? So what you need to do first is actually to serve. Sorry, miscount. So what you want to know when you go into a market, either you go into a sales team, first you need to serve first. You need to know who are the important people, what are the connection to them, and uh, who are the people that serve other people, because you want to have connection with them. And also you need to know that and listen to the line of communications, because you need to know the person that you will need to communicate on daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, so that your business can jump higher. And this is also part of market research. You want to know, are your solution is good for everyone? If you are coming into a sales environment, starting into a sales team, you need to know that your skill, your styles, or anything that you have are aligned with that sales team, right? So that's why you need to do market research. When you start relationships, you are nobody to that person. Since a lot of people, I notice that are women. You notice that when you start falling in love to a person, you don't really know him, and he needs to start to serve you first, know your family and everything. Is similar. So for men, I'm not sure is Del one I7 is man, but if you're a man, what you need to do is serve first. Here is when you want to know what are the market research say. Uh, are, are, are the market saying you are good enough or not, right? So when you start to serve, people start to notice you and people start to be aware with you. A lot of people, when in this state, they will start to be panic, right? They will start to have that fear. What happens suddenly, a lot of people are knowing you, and If you notice, most entrepreneur when they start going into the market, doing into nobody levels, they start to spend money there. Actually, that is not where you want to spend money. Where you want to spend money is at an awareness level. People at least know about you. When people start to know about you is when you want to expand the awareness. You want to start to promote. You want to start the producing results. Here is where you want to resolve the panic states. You want to resolve the fear. Because when you started with anxiety and suddenly your name start to goes up, you will notice that you will need to answer a lot of questions. One of the question that will people will ask, if you do sales, if you are an entrepreneur, is actually, oh, at least we have a man now. Welcome, man meet. All right. Actually, in these states is when you need to produce results. People want to see your solutions is a solution for them, right? And if you notice, why do I say here is where you want to spend money and actually promote your products? Here is when you will notice that your graph is going down instead starting to goes up, because here is where you spend a lot of money. In this situation, you are either emergence or emergency. Why do I say that? Right? Emergence means people start to aware about you and they want to know more about you. Emergency is when you already at a higher state and suddenly you do something bad, and then you will drop. And if most people, most businesses, they are dropping because they forget where they start all about. And if you notice, big companies, right, when they started their businesses, when they go into a new territory, the first thing that they do is always start from a nobody level, and then they start to invest a lot in promotion and showing the results, right? In any company, even if Amazon's, even if you go to Alibaba, Air Asia, they will start from there. Look back at how Air Asia pivoted during pandemic. It starts with that. How Grab start, it starts with that. When they start to go into awareness level, then you will notice that suddenly you feel a lot and you will see a lot of promotion going on, because they start to go there. Then when you are go from awareness states, people start to know you, your name is going up, you will start to become a somebody. Here is where chaos starts. Here is where you will notice and you will start to feel a lot of frustration in terms of emotions, because when you start at awareness, you start to do the work, you start to produce results. However, when you are at somebody level, it shows that whatever you do, you need to do it alone. Here is when you start to feel the frustration, because this is where you start to be plateau. People know you, yep, but you are doing alone, yep, and you need to keep on working and working and working and working just to maintain the results. Because at this level, you will notice that your graph will go up, down, up, down, up, down, because you cannot stop. The moment that you stop, you will drop. The moment they drop, then you start back, and then you stop and you will drop again. So in these states, let me put myself on spotlight so that everyone can see me. I hope everyone can see me. I don't use share screen, by the way, so you need to look at my back and then enjoy. All right. So in the chaos states is when you need to know what happens when you are in awareness state for too long. Means that you are doing everything alone. You keep on doing and keep and working, and you did not know when to stop, or you cannot stop, because every time you stop, your graph will go down, and revenue will go down, and profit will start to go down. If you already in a somebody states, either you are in a sales team, either you are entrepreneur, either you are having a relationship, at somebody state is when you start to add people in your company, start adding people in your team. Here is when you want to have systems so that it can be duplicated. Everyone can do whatever you do and you can still maintain the results. Here is where you need to have a laser focus where you want to bring the company to the next stage. Here is where the focus need to be super laser so that people can know that that is the direction that you want. You want to bring the whole team there. Here is when you want to start creating your code of honor. Here is where you want to start to actually recruiting the correct person in your team. It doesn't mean to have a big team. You just need to have people to continue your system, to have the same focus with you, and you need to start to manage people in getting the results up. Because the longer you are in chaos condition, you will notice that the graph is, although it goes up and down, the median will be going lower and lower and lower. You are not getting profit, but you are getting lesser profit, which is not good for a businesses. You will notice a lot of businesses now, they are dropping to awareness level because suddenly they drop. Nobody wanted to buy from anymore from them, and then they start to promote, but then they are going to somebody bank, people start to know them, but the sale is there. They don't get the right people in, they don't have the right framework, not framework, the right systems in the business, and then they are start to be in chaos mode. They start to come with frustrations, they start to come into depression. Here is where actually business owner will be in a depression mood. However, if you start to have your system, you start to have your focus on your game on phase, and you start to manage people properly, which means you focus on quality instead on quantity, then you will go into the next stage where the next stage, wait, not coming in. Oh, tak cantik. Where you go into a known stage. Here is where people know that you are a company that can endure all the volatile uncertainty situations. People will know that you are a stable company, right? So you will notice that here is actually where you start to get a profit again. And for those who have started into the same way that I've shown, from a nobody to a known level, you will notice that this is a level where you start to gain the profit. It's not high, but that profit is really good for you, right? However, here is where a lot of people will notice that you are into a state of boredom. Why do I say that? Because you already know all the things that you have gone through, and here is suddenly nothing happened because your businesses are stable, right? You are going into smooth sailing. You don't have people that wanted to fight with you. You have all the loyal customer with you, and here is when you will start to know that uh, you don't need to really push to actually gain that profit anymore. However, here is when you will see a lot of drama coming from your own group, from your own circle. Here is when you will notice that people are asking for bonuses, raise of salary, right? And if you have investors, they want to know what's next. You will notice that a lot of drama, a lot of things will happen here. And how you want to tackle it? First, you need to make sure you need to keep on improving, you need to keep on testing, and you need to have small changes every day. Why do you think companies like Facebook, Instagram, they don't do major changes at one time? Because they want to keep on testing and improve, test and improve, test and improve. Or actually, last time I used test and measure. This is what the market needs. Investor doesn't want to have big changes because they know every time big changes happens, they need to invest more money. But small changes is where they are looking into. Here is where you don't want to invest more, but you want to do a quality control. Here is where you want to improve your businesses. What are the systems that you need to make your businesses moving forward faster? What are the drama that you need to handle before it happens, right? Here is where you want to save more money, not invest money. Here is where you want to do that small changes to see are the market reaction as good or not, then improve on it. Make another small changes and then improve on it, right? Do not spend money when you are known, because you will be in deep trouble when things like this pandemic happens. This is where a lot of people start to drop back, where business start to go from a known to awareness, because they need to start investing in promotions, right? And here is where your profit is less but your business is stable. And when you already able to control this, and let's talk about relationship, right? Let's talk what happened in these states, right? Why do I say that? Because a lot of people are making mistake in this state. Because for me, relationship, sales, my brain is still the same. So in known state, when whoever that you love know you, right? You do not want to spend a lot of money here. A lot of people, when they already get the people that they love, they spend a lot here instead of improving themselves, making that small changes so that the love is getting better, but they don't do that. And that's why all the drama happens, because it is bored. Every time I see your face, you see my face. I see your face, you see my face, and we are watching movies always, right? Either we go to eat mama every day and it's bored. People wanted changes. People wanted uh, uncertainty in the relationship. So you need to control that, right? Because once you control that, then you can go into a level called influence. Here is where you will influence decisions. Here is where you have the abundance and where your graph starts to go really fast, going up. Here is where you want to actually start to think about reinvesting. You want to start to think about franchising. You want to think about expanding. Here is where you want to clear out every debt that you have, uh, so that you can focusing on getting all the profits up. Once you clear all the debt that you have before, I can assure you the profit is going to start to go 10 times higher and higher and higher every time. Here is where you want to start to look back how you can make more opportunity for other people to actually doing what you do and expanding your network, expanding your empire. Here is where you want to think about doing and expanding. A lot of people, they start to look at small profits, and then they thinking about expanding, and then is where the drama happens, right? Because when you have small profit, you did not yet have the opportunity or the experience of duplicating it, because you are only looking into your current state of market. When you start expanding with small profit, I can assure you your money is not from that business, but your money is coming out from the franchise, which you will notice a lot of company, when they are not in a influence states, they are not going to live more than 3 years, right? If you can see a lot of like tutti fruities, right? And a lot other lah. That is the company that coming into my brain currently. I don't really remember the list of company, but here are the abundance. Here your where you start for relationship. Here is where you want to get married. Your emotion is super joyful. Here is where you start to love everything that you do and everything that other people do. Here is where people will work for you happily, and did not demand anything a lot from you, and they just love to be where they are, where you are, because everybody are in abundance. They always get the benefit out of it, right? This is a maximum level or the maximum stage of it. You can stop here. However, if you are going to go into the top, here is where you will start to become a star. Here is when you did not need to worry a lot. Everybody will do it for you. Your business is thriving at the top. However, here is where you will notice that a lot of people have these arrogant states where ego start coming in, and they forget where do they start. If you did not control when you are a star, you will drop. and you will come and drop up to the nobody stage, right? Most company, we go to awareness stage, people still know about their company, but people are not interested anymore in their products and did not have any interest in the results that they are giving. Because a lot of people, if you notice, some big company, they start to wanting, because you have ego and arrogance, right? And when you have that ego, you start to get greedy, and you wanted to have more profit to show that every year you go into a new level of profit. Maybe we already have 100 million, then you want a billion company, then you want a trillion company, but you did not add value to your products. You will notice a lot of company like that, and some of the company, just because they have government supports, then they can still survive. But without that, they will start to dropping back where they started back. Similar with relationships, similar with sales team. When you are the best of the best, and if you have that ego, arrogance, without understanding that your success comes from other people's success, and how you want to handle that is actually you need to stay connected. If you are entrepreneur and you are already at this level, remember this: stay connected to your market, stay connected to everyone, including your employees. That's why people like Tony Fernandez, Richard Branson are asking people inside their companies to take care of the employee first before taking care of the customer. Because if you're taking care of your employees, your employee will take care of your customers automatically, because the change will go from top down. Instead of you are thinking that you have the best product in the world. When you are in a pandemic situation like now, it's a good example. You will notice that some companies are having the support from the customers during their bad times, because they are always feel in love and feel supported by the company when you are at the stars levels. Here is when you want to give back to the community. Here is where you want to invest on community building. When you are at this level, doesn't mean that you need to be at the star level. The only thing is, at that level, you need to remind yourself back, where do you start. If you notice, athletes, people like Cristiano Ronaldo, people like LeBron James, they give back to the community, and that's why people love them. Because at star level is when whatever you say impacted. Elon Musk, uh, Jack Ma, whatever they say will be impacted. And if you are going into Bitcoin per se, you will notice that people like Elon Musk, whatever he says, will really impacted the price of Bitcoin nowadays. So that's why you need to know where your levels are, and at which level then you will know what you want to do next. Remember, if you want to do a promotion or big promotion, you need to start back from awareness. And if you go into a new market, let's say you already have a company, or you are in a sales team, suddenly you have new project. The first thing that you need to know is you need to start from a nobody stage, because only at that stage you actually can get the most out of it. If you start with a stage where you thought everybody will love you, everybody will like you, where this is where you will start to see a lot of drama happening, because you started wrong, right? Yeah, including in businesses, you need to know where your business now, and then look at what you want to do with your business at this moment. If you are, let's say you are currently doing the same thing over and over again, means that you are at somebody's stage going into stability, right? So if you are at somebody's stage, you need to do and start to expand your team. You need to have systems so everybody can do whatever you do, and everybody can duplicate whatever they have done. And you need just to manage them to know who are good at one thing, who are bad at one thing, and then you just make sure they can get the maximum productivity out of it. So this is levels. I use it in all my projects. Whenever I start any products, we first give to the market first and see what are the results. So like a few months back when I launched a product called Bangkit, Bangun Kita Transform. It is a product where it's a CSR product where I want to know if my program can really do transformation works. It's not a sales product things. However, I love to run it because I noticed that a lot of people actually, how you say it, actually in needs of support, right? So it was launched around during the pandemic. First, I just give see what a market says. So if the market says okay, continue. If market say need improvement, then improve. Then I need to know who are actually giving the result, who are actually can endorse that. And that's when I start to know people, psychologists, and giving feedbacks on that and asking them if I can help more. Now the product is at awareness where people start to know about the program called Bangkit. I need to promote it. I need to start to invest it, and so more people will aware about it, and people can go and make me go into a somebody state. I cannot keep on doing the same thing over and over again. Like it's been a while. I did not give a talk for 1 hour like this because most of my talk is like 4, 8, 16 hours. Bangkit run at 16 hours per day program. So it's a bit like running here and there for me because how can I give all the info in 1 hours, right? And yep, the same thing when I'm selling my program is like that. And you can look back what type of stage that you are so that you can know are you going up directions being a star, or you are going into down directions as a star. All right, we have a question here. Are you saying that you do product testing to your target audience? Yes. I don't really do product testing. I only do market research. Product testing normally happen is before you go and bring it to the market. You want to know are the product workable or not. Let me share with you a story of a company called Bourbon. Anyone here have heard about Bourbon? Anyone here have heard about Bourbon? No one? Nope. All right. Have anyone here heard about Instagram? Yes. All right. Before Instagram become Instagram, they would call Bourbon. Right. It's a funny start for them, but when they started, it is not to share pictures. They already have the products there. They know they want to launch an apps where people can tell where they are and just locate where the position are. However, the traction is not there, so they start back. So how do they start back? They go start to nobody again. So they know that nobody knows about Bourbon. What they do is they go to a park in New York. I forget the name, but the park in New York. They just sit there, and whoever comes and jogs around the park, they will start to call them and ask if you are okay if you took picture, edit some of it, and see if you love it, right? And they keep on doing that, giving back, giving back, giving back, and all the data that they get is when they notice that a lot of people actually love their picture to be taken, enhance that picture, and share where they are. And all the data turn into filters that we know in Instagram now. And the function of sharing a picture and location is actually a features that are already there, but they don't really focus on it, became one of the things that making Instagram the company that they are now. And similar when they come up with Reels. Anybody have used Reels in Instagram? I will answer Dell question later. But anybody have used Reels in Instagram now? All right. For those who have, I know Bazila have Instagram. I don't know if I already connected, but Reels, when you notice when Reels are launched, the first thing that happened is actually they letting whoever use the reels to become number one in the timeline lah. Whenever you see it, whoever put reels, their stories will always be number one, because they want to see what are the market feedback first. And here is where I want to answer Dell's question. How long do you normally do market research? Is actually when you get what you need. Depending, if you are, how do you say it, aggressive peoples, where you know that the product that you need is where it need to be run 24 hours, like Facebook. You can only do the market research 1 week, less than that. If you are looking into creating hardwares, maybe it takes longer time for you to start and actually looking into it. When, let me check. If you know about BlackBerry, when they first started and test their product, BlackBerry are not starting out from the headphone that you have now, or the BlackBerry that you have last time. Actually, BlackBerry starts from a humble wood cutting, where the test that they want to do is actually, how about if the phone can go into your pocket and it looks like a actual laptop where you can just type it, right? So it goes into the pocket, and they want to know, how do you feel if you put something in your pocket? Is it feel comfortable or not? And how do you feel when you start to touch all the buttons on it? That's how BlackBerry starts their ideas of getting the phones that people are forgotten now lah. So it depends. Some company are doing 1 month, some company are doing 3 months. It depending how much data do you need. When I was working with Amazon's, we normally take 1 to 2 weeks of testing and getting the market feedbacks, because we notice that if we have a lot of data if we can get 1 million data within 1 week, we have enough. It depends on the market that you look at. You cannot expecting 1 million of data when your market is only Malaysia, and you are going into a place where like Perak, where everybody are not sitting at the same place at one time. If you are looking into like Klang Valley, and you are looking into a market where urban area where more than 10 million people at one time, things like that, to have 1 million data within 1 week is good. If not, don't really do that, and you can just take a longer time to see people. Or if you are going to look at niche market, just go at niche market to take at least 1 to 2% feedback for you to start and go forward from there. All right, do I answer your question, Del? Awesome. All right, do you have any other questions about this model? You can use it if you are single and looking into serious relationships. I use the same model. It's really workable though, and it saves a lot of money. I don't need to actually invest on each level. Only at awareness level, I will invest money. But when I'm at somebody known or influence, I just let it be, and then just enjoy. It doesn't mean after you get married, you ask your partner to pay everything. It's just that you don't need to waste your money for things like going out and do unmeaningful things like watching movies, things like that. Because when you are influenced, you can actually bring them where going for honeymoon, something like that. Not now, but when it's really matter. Okay. Is there any other questions? While I'm still here. Anyone? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So, if you don't have any question about here, let me talk about what you are going to see next. Is now you are knowing how you want to go up in this model. In my next 1 hour session, I am going to share how you want to read people and handle them. Either still same, if you want to communicate with them, selling in communication is super important. How you want to approach them and deal with them, and actually understand people from visual observation and visual calibration. So I'm looking forward to meet every one of you here. I hope the knowledge that I've shared today can be used. I believe it can be used because I use it. I live by it. And if you want to have any question, you can give me anything. You can add me in Facebook. You can add me in LinkedIn. I have my Instagram, and I'm happy to answer any question that you would love to in anything, especially sales, because that is what I do love to do the most. And look forward to a lot of new findings that I'm doing currently. I'm looking on, if those who came early for, I think Dell and Bazilla, I'm talking about the 80% of Big Y. I noticed that a lot of people are wasting time on just closing the sales. And a difference, the big difference with big company or big good salespeople is that they don't really close. Most of the time, they influence people to take more without closing. I would say they don't do a lot of closing because people just come in, they have trust, and they just buy. That's how powerful the good people are, even though they are selling a niche products. So if you have any problem, any question or anything, at the top is actually my link tree. You can use your mobile to actually QR code. Do not use my Sejahtera. It will not bring you to me, but the QR camera can actually help to connect with me in any of my social media. Even if I have shared my WhatsApp number there, so that you can ask me anything about sales or anything. I'm happy to help as much as possible, especially during this pandemic. Think about short-term goal. Yep, that's true for Dell, because I noticed that people's are too used of being in a state where stability is important. That's why I say a lot of people are always looking at the small profit instead of the longevity of what you are doing, right? And a lot of people are using having this mentality of using the current situation to make a lot of money. If you notice, during Raya, we have issues with Palestine. Instead of doing something, people are selling things under Palestine names. And you will notice after this, during this pandemic, people are talking about how good it is to have insurance during pandemic, where I don't believe it to help people. It just turn off, especially me. I don't really love people that going on short term relationship with customers, because it will not help the industry itself. It will not help you to actually have a loyalist customers, and it just make the people look at salespeople as bad things. For me, the good salespeople are not many, because of the bad people are focusing more on the commissions and the home pay. But uh, I do agree people wanted to have that extra money out of it, but you need to know where are you standing in your businesses now. Either you are doing sales or entrepreneurship, because I've been through that, and I notice if we know where we stand, and you know what to do. When I'm at somebody, normally, okay, now I need to expand more of my team. Yup, I do need to invest on getting to pay people salary and all those things. However, by getting more people working for me and using my system, they are making more money for me, and I can pay them more, so that I can go into the abundant states. I can go higher into the connections that I need, and then I can open more opportunity for people to work for me. even though I'm trainers now, which is currently I'm looking for people that willing to work, but I'm at awareness level, I would say, because not because I don't want to go up, uh, but because I love to work with people and I don't want to for people to actually stress by how I work. Sometimes I just sleep 2 to 3 hours per day, and I'm not ready to have people yet. So I'm not in somebody levels yet for the current situation. Not when I was working, uh, because I am having fun at whatever I do now, and I'm hoping that I can help more people first before I'm expanding. Now I'm expanding by getting more people to do what I'm doing, not in term of managing, but in term of system, so people can duplicate what I do, and I just let them do what they want to do first. Then they enjoy their life. And I would say that's all from me. Do you have any question about me or about anything? Right. If no questions, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you very much, especially to Dell for all your questions. Bazila and Hamida, thank you for your thumbs up, and also Katie and Liana for giving me your times and space for me to share whatever here in my brains. I'm looking forward to see all of you again in my next sessions, and let's see if I can share and add more value in your life in the near future. And looking forward to Strive Reloaded, for me to share how you can actually influence people, how you can actually handling your current rejection. I don't believe in it, rejection handling though, but I believe in influencing and actually let people love you and buy from you. That's a normal way of actually my way, where I bring it. I call it a normal way because a lot of people are forgetting about it, and they just started to share the products, benefit and features before they actually know their customers. So uh, that's all from me, and I hope to be connected to all of you and see you soon. Thank you. Thank you, Hamida. Oh, we have live from Facebook. I never know. I have any question from Facebook? Oh, so far no questions. All right. All right. Thank you, Sumitra. Anything else? Awesome. Thank you, everyone. See you all soon, and have a nice day during the pandemic, and have a nice lockdown.